welcome Africa to another exciting episode of The Chat right here on HFtv Africa. My name is Zinnia. Today we'll be chatting to a very interesting personality. He's been doing a lot of changes in his life that has got so many people talking, like they won't stop talking. That's why we have him on the show, actually. He is a Nigerian-based hip-hop artist, the first Nigerian artist to be endorsed by an international brand, if I'm not mistaken. That's kind of big. Well, we'll find out who this gentleman is after the break.
No matter what you do in life, you can never please everybody.
But they won't follow me, they never. See, I just they sing my lines. But if they like say they follow me, they sing a move. I don't they pay my tithes. For my blessings, they won't follow me, receive them.
Welcome back, fabulous people. We're still right here on the chat, and we're talking to the fine lady, Crooner. How are you doing, Lee?
I'm good, man. How far?
I'm great. It's so nice to see you.
I know, man. It's been a minute.
Do you still sing your own song?
Do I what?
You know, someone asked me on my way, like, does Lynxxx still sing his own song? Isn't it worldly?
What's worldly about it? What's worldly about Fine Lady?
Finding a fine lady, yeah.
Don't you get married?
You don't.
I've been good, man. I've been good.
How's your career been?
It's been amazing, man. I have my second album about to drop. I have a lot of big plans, even, you know, as a musician, but outside just releasing music. You know what I mean? So it actually required a little bit of solace and quietness to really put things in order for the long run.
And Syndicate Records.
You know, Syndicate is great, man. That's my heart. That's my heart, man. You know, so Syndicate is amazing. I mean, we are more than a record label. So, you know, if our focus is just to be a music brand, then it would be that. But it's so much to it. There's so much to it.
Released so much music.
Yeah.
Then we see Nedu. He's doing a bit of comedy now.
Yeah, that's just his personality.
Kind of like, what's happening?
I mean, as an artist, man, you have to. Your music cannot be your bread and butter. It can't be all you have to offer. If you don't have a personality, you're falling flat on your nose. You know what I'm saying? And like, you know, this is something that we see 10, 15 years down the line ahead. And by doing that, you have to do so much more than just release music. Because what happens when your music is not relevant? You're not relevant. But when your character and your brand and your person and your value is so strong that it's beyond the music is a plus to who you are. It shouldn't be the music that makes you who you are.
That's great.
You know what I mean? So,
a lot of people think that, or thought that your personality is not very defined when it comes to your brand as an artist.
Okay.
We're a bit confused if you're a bad boy or a good boy. Well, before now that you're a bad boy, yeah, a good boy. A good boy. I'm sorry.
Right.
How? Why?
This was my strategy from the beginning. I wanted to be very mute about my personality or my personal life, and just let what you see be what you get. Oh. So that's the reason why you say people are confused, because people like to make assumptions. And assumptions change based on how someone feels about somebody. You feel me? So at the end of the day, if I didn't define myself, you define me.
That's true.
And whatever you decide to label me is what you're gonna label me. I was bad boy. I mean, what did I do that made me a bad boy? Yeah. I think I've gotten to the stage where, aside from, you know, my spiritual evolution, I decided to be more vocal, and that's what people are now respecting. That, oh, there's actually a brain in this guy's head. I just thought it was just all looks. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you know, it just goes to show that you should just never judge people, man. Just never judge a book by its cover, because, you know, I used to see what people used to say and stuff, but it never bothered me because it's not facts. You know what I'm saying? It's just what you think, and I can't control your mind.
Your spiritual evolution,
it
has gotten people talking for days.
That's the power of God.
I know. I know.
That's the power of God.
When did you decide to do the switch? I don't even think it's a
I didn't
switch.
decide.
Yeah.
That's the funny thing. Like, when did God decide to call me? That's more. Last year, August. You know, I was called to service. I was called to walk in who I was created to be, and I was called to walk in purpose. And I mean, it's very clear to see that that's actually the best decision any human being can make in life, because it's like, until you get to this point, you're only living about, the max could be 50% of your potential. So any success you think you've seen, if you're not in your purpose, it's less than 50% of what you can achieve when you walk with God.
Until you spoke about it, a lot of people actually thought it was because your musical career wasn't yielding the fruits you wanted.
Yielding what fruits though? How do you know how much I was making music? It's not by how loud your songs are. Let me tell you, there's an artist, Jay Martins. Do you see him in Lagos?
No, actually.
So are you trying to tell me his career is not popping? Jay Martin is cleaning out. You see, people expect you to play the same hand as everybody else. I'm an intellectual. I went to school. I studied. I'm not gonna fall flat on my nose just putting my eggs in one basket. You know what I'm saying? I own media companies. I design applications. I do websites. I have a clothing line. I have stuff that I do that doesn't require a microphone. So if I decide to say, let me take the backseat on the music and make sure that when I come back out, I'm coming 100%. I have other things to fall back on. You feel me? So I don't think I need to prove myself to anybody because I'm living very okay. I'm very content with my life, and I don't need to be shouting or posting my cars or my house or my houses or whatever on Instagram for you to know Lynxxx is okay. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, if I wasn't making music, you don't know anything about me. You feel me? So I think we're in a bubble where people believe that showing off determines who's really banking. The most silent people are the people that are actually making the most moves. You know what I'm saying? They just don't speak about it.
That's great.
You know, so great. I mean, to everybody who thinks that was the reason, then oh well, I mean, that's on them. You know what I mean?
Okay, so we were seeing you posting a lot of edifying things on your Instagram.
Yeah.
But we didn't expect a gospel song to drop.
That was, see, the thing is, I wouldn't even label it gospel. I think it's just more motivational and a personal perspective of my life. If I wasn't doing this interview, I believe most of the, apart from my Instagram posts, most of the details or the information you've gotten is from the song.
Yeah.
And that's just because I decided to bridge the gap between the questions I was always getting and what really happens. I just said, let me put it in a song, in a record, and at the same time glorify God for everything He's done for me, which is very important.
Very important.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I did. I'm not a gospel artist. I'm still gonna make pop music. I still make rap music. I still make R&B. The only difference is taking out the negative things from the music. Not even motivational, but at the same time not cursing or not talking about booty, and there's only so much music you can make by talking about smoking, drinking, and women. But there's so much more out there that the world needs to hear. You can make a rap song about a toilet roll. You know what I'm saying? It's creativity. You can't box it in. So if you call me if people label me a gospel artist, you're limiting my creativity, and even I don't put myself in that box. So I don't think that's my situation. People should try and separate Lynxxx, the artist, and Lynxxx, the human being that has been through evolution. Because what has happened is my person has changed, which changes everything else. But it doesn't mean I'm any different from you. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to make sure that my relationship with God is 100%. That's it.
That's great.
Yeah.
So serve you, from that song, I heard there was a line that actually caught my attention.
Right.
You actually go to church 7 days a week now.
Yes, I do.
No ways.
Yeah.
I'm taking this thing serious.
I mean, I ask you this though, if you were going to school, would you go to class once a week?
No, I wouldn't.
Exactly. And
wow.
Going to church
is like
going to church is where you get life. It's where it doesn't apply. It's not a must. It's not a must for everybody, but for Lynxxx it's a must because I evangelize, I motivate, I speak to people a lot. So
tell me what happened.
Okay, after I tell you this. I give a lot of spiritual stuff to people. Literally, like I give all the knowledge I have, all the things God gives me, I give it out to people. So if I'm giving out so much, I need to recharge it, right? So that's why I go to church so much, because if my phone is low, I'm going to plug it into the source that powers it, right? It's the same thing with my spirit. My spirit is powered by God. So going to church and hearing His word, and going to church where I can just be away from the world and focus, read my Bible, meditate, it's fantastic.
I really want to. I can't understand.
It's fantastic,
it's confusing for me.
Right.
When I heard, and then I was going through your Instagram, I'm like,
right.
When did this change happen? What happened to him?
Well, here's the thing. I think you know, aside from what happened to me, because everybody thinks, oh, Lynxxx, what I used to be, and now, I just want everybody to realize, like, there's nothing strange about this. This is what everyone is called to do. It's just that we rebel. That's the truth. So, literally, I've taken myself out of a box that is following sheep. You know what I'm saying? We're just all following what's happening. We're following
So nothing happened. God didn't take you out of a situation that you felt like.
No, I didn't almost die, or I didn't. No, I didn't. None of that. Like, I just knew.
Just a conscious.
I just knew that I needed more from life. Like, you know, the money, the shows, the tours, they were nice, but it was not fulfilling. It was just successful. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like, if I'm trying to get from here to Ikeja and I get there, I've succeeded in getting to Ikeja. But if I get to Ikeja and I feel like, why did I waste my time coming here? It's not fulfilling. That's exactly what happened. Everything on my bucket list, I ticked off. And after I ticked off, I was like, what next?
What next?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? No matter how much money I had or how many cars I have, I was still going through the stress of life. And then who do I turn to when I want to deal with the stress of life? Nobody. Because I wasn't in communion with God like I am now. But now, no matter what I go through, I have someone to turn to. I have someone to talk to even if I don't have credit. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I figured that there was more to life and there was more to my career. There was more to making music than just what it was. Endorsement shows, money, all those things are nice, don't get me wrong. Like, I still want them.
Yeah,
But they should not be the all in all. And
really interesting.
when it got to the point where he realized like he could use me for so much more than I was being used for, he snatched me, and that's what's happening. So I believe that every time someone comes to my Instagram of late, there's something for them to take home.
Yeah,
Whereas a year ago,
friends on some of your posts.
right, you know, whereas a year ago you come on my Instagram, what do you see? Just a selfie, hey, download my song.
You see a hot link.
What's that doing for anybody? No, nothing. You know what I'm saying? We're on the earth to serve, man. So
That's true. So are you carrying
yeah.
your friends along?
My friends are born again. They do blink. They're all born again.
Okay.
Yeah. So you guys are just getting my own side of the story now, because this is my time to tell my story. They're gonna get their time to tell their story. And you see, the reason why God did this to me is because of what's happening. Like, a lot of people are getting saved just from believing that if I could be saved, they could be saved.
So your circle of friends not changing?
No, because it's been the same friends I've had literally all my life. I'm not somebody that I don't just beg friends. I don't just jump to friends. Like, I have a lot of people I know. I don't have a lot of people I call friends, you know?
You emphasize a lot on women.
Right.
Your post exposing. There was one thing you posted about finding a soulmate. It's not about the body.
Right.
And you know, in church these days, I'm sorry, no offense, most ladies go to church these days to find Mr. Right, because I think Mr. Right has to be in church.
Okay.
Are you thinking about marriage anytime soon?
Oh, yeah, definitely. But that has nothing to do with church. I tell people this, right? You see, God is not a genie. You have to give as much as you expect from God. You feel me? So you're not gonna just sit down and tell God, give me a husband, then you're sinning and living anyhow, disobeying him. You think he's gonna do that? And then if he doesn't give you one and you go find one for yourself, you end up in a marriage you're not supposed to be in. That's your luck. And that's why it's very good to withdraw from the world and try and listen to God and focus. Because you realize, like, if there's so much, if this place was playing so much loud music, me and you cannot really have a concrete conversation. Do you get what I'm saying? It's the same thing with God. Like, if there's so much going on in your life, you go to work, you come back, you eat, you go to the gym, you sleep, you wake up, you watch a movie, where is the time for him to tell you what to do with your life? It's no time.
In Serbia, you talked about your mom, her prayers.
Yeah.
How was your connection with her?
My mom, man, let me even just put my mom and dad, like my whole family. Like, I come from a family where I was raised Catholic, you know, and my parents are very spiritual and, you know, in their faith and very close to God. And the truth is this, like, you don't realize, like, a lot of times where we could have been in danger, we could have been harmed, we could have been in situations where we were not supposed to get out from. What saves us is the prayers of our parents. Yeah, like, trust me, your parents are praying for you every day, because it affects them if you get hurt.
That's true.
So if they're praying for God to protect them, they're also praying for you to be protected, because anything that happens to you is a 360 coming back to them. You feel me? So those prayers go a long way. People don't realize that. And a lot of times, like, they might not tell you. It's like you have a kid now. You're not going to tell that kid everything you're doing to protect them from harm. You get what I'm saying? But I know my parents have prayed for me and all my siblings. So I have to acknowledge the fact that me getting to where I am in life is not by my merit. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, shout out to my folks. I mean,
that's great. Okay, so I'm glad you said that you are not going to stop doing the kind of music that you used to do.
Yeah.
You're just going to add more light to it.
Yeah.
How do you intend to manage this industry where all the girls are getting toned up and showing more of their bodies?
It has nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? Whoever, you know, feels that that's necessary for them, that's on them. Like, I'm focused. You know what I'm saying? And that's the reason why I don't have scandals and none of that, you know, because from the jump, I've always been focused. Like, I've always known what I wanted. And I think I'm too old to be carried away by stuff like that, man. Like, this is not change your parade era. This is like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've been in the industry almost 8 years.
But we heard rumors sometimes,
you know,
sometime back that you were dating Stephanie Coker. Then we heard about Tools, and we were like,
yeah, everybody that I put in my song or put in my video, I'm dating. You know what I'm saying? And that's because nobody knows anything about me, because I kept my mouth shut all this while, you know. So people just go off of whatever they see. They just run off with it.
You didn't date any of them?
No, none. Like, you know, all of them had situations already. So it's just music, man.
That's great. So are we expecting collaborations from other artists?
Oh, yeah.
Whiskey, Terry G. Whiskey.
I actually have 2 albums ready. I'm about to drop one in July. So I've been working even when people thought I wasn't doing a damn thing. You know, the studio is downstairs in my house. Yeah, I like, working out takes so much time, man, and it takes away my time from God. Like, right now, at where I was and what God was doing with me to refine me and purify me and remold me, I had no time for anything else. You feel me? There was no way I could pay attention, because you see, people are seeing the finished product. No one's seeing, it's not even a finished product. People are just seeing the work in progress now. Nobody knows what I've been through. Nobody knows what God has done with me. Nobody knows.
One.
I can't. It's not a rush conversation. These conversations usually go 6 hours, 7 hours. Like, when we're talking about spiritual stuff, man, I can go on forever. I can, like, even when I write stuff on Instagram, I have to say, okay, let me not bore people with it being too long. But it's what I live. So I have so much to tell you about. You know what I'm saying? So just know, like, people are going to be amazed with what God is about to do. Not just with me, but with the industry and with the world. Because if you look at the world is crashing.
I'm actually very proud of you.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm
so
happy for you.
Thank you very much, man.
A lot of people need to come to this realization.
Yeah. I mean, everyone has their time, you know. And
so what are we expecting from the other syndicate records artists?
man, like Icon has the Three Wise Men album ready with Black Magic.
Okay.
He also has Icon Free Spirit album coming out soon. Nedu has an EP he's working on that's almost ready. Blink has an EP he's working on, it's almost ready. My camp right now, we're not really about putting out one song, testing the waters anymore. It's the industry, the dynamics of the game has changed so much that if I don't give you a project for you to sit down and take in and soak in what I'm about, it's hard for you to, you know, understand me.
You know, right now when you go give your songs out for some people to play, media, they ask you for money, which I don't think is right. It's kind of like bribery.
Yeah, it's been in the game for a minute.
So are you going to be doing that to promote your music now that you're...
Listen, no man is in control of my career. God is in control of my career. So when God says yes, it's a yes. No man can stop what God wants to do. So shout out to everybody that supports me, but I don't believe in man, I believe in God. So irrespective of what's going on in the industry, has nothing to do with Lynxxx, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not out here to be in anybody's lane. I know where I'm supposed to operate, and I'm operating in my lane, and that's it. Like, ever since I released Serve You, the reaction I'm getting, the amount of calls I'm getting, the amount of, you know, interviews everybody wants to interview, the amount of radio stations calling me in to come in for interviews and stuff like that. That thing used to happen when I used to drop songs before. You know why? Because it was just songs in the same lane as everybody else. So why do they want to speak to you about it? You know, if you fit in, you never stand out.
That's true.
And that's it. So for me, I'm not trying to fit in. I could be a misfit for all I care. As long as I know that I'm on my right
And
path.
you're standing out.
Yeah, as long as I'm doing me, and I know that this is what God has ordained for me to do, and that's all that matters, man. I'm not worried about any other person's movement.
I have been blessed. No, truly.
I appreciate that, man.
I have been blessed. Thank you so much for taking
Thank you very much. And
interesting conversation.
I leave people with this word saying, look, if you don't have power, which is power from God, that you can only get from God, and you're going to be under power. Yeah, and you know what that means? You're either going to be controlled by money, women, alcohol, fame, whatever drives the world, whatever is driving you, you'll be under that power.
I just feel like you're talking to a lot of people out there.
Yeah.
And I'm very certain they're listening. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
The best of luck.
I appreciate
in everything that you do.
I appreciate it.
Guys, you heard him. Oh my God, I feel like I'm having a hangover. By the way, thank you so much for hanging with us right here on the chat. We've been chatting to Lynxxx. Let's take it away with one of his best tracks. I love this one. I'm sure you're gonna love it too.
Story,